SMUG friends called me a fake engineer, so I paid the whole dinner and left them speechless. My family was invited by my wife's best friend to their youngest daughter's birthday. It was a small dinner, and 2 more couples were invited. Their husbands are structural engineers, and their children are friends with the celebrant. We have met these people before when we were out and dining with Eric's family, so it was not awkward, although we only know them by their names. Anyway, we settled at one table and the teens at another. At the teen table, my daughter ordered sushi, appetizers, mocktails, and shrimp with scallops, while our table was flowing along with sake and a few top-shelf drinks. We also have our appetizers, drinks, and dinners. We are all paying for ourselves, and I see the guys seem to be in competition for who can spend the most. The celebrant's father and I chuckle at them and stay out of the fray. We were all sharing stories and a good laugh. We were really enjoying their company minus all the smug remarks they seemed to point at me for being an agricultural engineer. Then, one of them hears my daughter's order and says to her, "Careful now, your daddy is only an agricultural engineer. He doesn't make as much as us real engineers." I was slightly surprised by this comment, but decided not to respond to it. For context, I'm an agricultural engineer with a PhD. I work for governments, private investors, and several agro corporations, and I own a consulting firm. I help build sustainable, reusable gardens. This work allows me to travel to poorer countries and help them use what they have to start growing their own food. Apparently, these men thought all I did was travel to impoverished places and teach people to dig in the dirt. They believed I did all this work for free and therefore made very little money. I'm not rich by any stretch, but I am comfortable. We don't do extravagance, so we have savings, and my wife works. However, in 2023, I was awarded a handsome contract to design power gardens in several states. It's a 7-figure contract over 3 years. Back to dinner, these guys ask me about the most ridiculous things, like, is it good to grow onions and carrots in the same garden? And were laughing at me and my work until their wives told them to stop. I chalk it up to drunken arrogance and don't even bother to answer. Eric was laughing so hard, he almost fell out of his chair. Apparently, he is one of the guys' CPA as well, and Eric knows the ins and outs of both our finances. He taunts Eric to tell the table what he brought home last year after bonuses. Eric pulls up the figures on the phone and tells us, "Well, it's about 1/3 of what I brought home in 2023. Eric says, "I have yours up, want me to share?" I decline, and he nods. Then cue another round of taunts. I went to the restroom and found the waiter. I decided to pay for the whole check and leave a generous tip on top of what they added for the party. After our sorbet, the waiter thanked me in front of everyone for the tip and wished everyone a good night. Both stared at me for a moment, smirked, and said, "You don't have to use your monthly budget to prove anything. We totally understand." Pissed, I told Eric to tell them my income last year, after which I simply said good night. Absolutely petty, but gratifying.